This was around the time that she was messaging a researcher for a television programme. She was actively messaging her before that time, and then after around 12:30 p.m. on Wednesday, all communication ceased from Anne Widdecombe.
We turn to the story that has shocked and saddened Westminster and beyond this weekend. A 26-year-old man arrested on suspicion of murdering Anne Widdecombe has been released from custody and is no longer part of the investigation. The Devon and Cornwall police have said that they are continuing to make inquiries and that they remain committed to establishing the full circumstances surrounding the incident. Countryside correspondent for The Times, Will Humphries, is currently in Hayter, the village in which Widdecombe was killed, and he joins me now. Good afternoon, Will.
Afternoon, Jane.
Thanks so much for speaking to us this afternoon, Will. I gather you've arrived in Hayter relatively recently today. What is the latest from the case that you're hearing there?
So in the last few minutes, Devon and Cornwall police have issued a new press release saying that they believe Anne Widdecombe was attacked and killed sometime around 12:30 p.m. on Wednesday. This was around the time that she was messaging a researcher for a television programme. She was actively messaging her before that time, and then after around 12:30 p.m. on Wednesday, all communication ceased from Anne Widdecombe. Her body wasn't found until 11:40 a.m. on the Thursday morning. So this is a sort of new development that the police are now following up. It stretches the timeline further back in the week. And locals in Hayter are being asked by police to scour their CCTV footage from their properties and their Ring doorbell cameras and dashboard cameras to see whether there is anything that they can glean from that around that time.
So we're saying this is 12:30 lunchtime on Wednesday, Will?
Yes, exactly.
Right. And so she was, it's 12:30 lunchtime. She was working, she was going about her business, and then something happened to her in her home on Wednesday lunchtime.
Yes, police are still saying this is despite having arrested someone and released them, and saying that person has nothing more to do with the investigation, they still say this is an active murder inquiry, that she received serious injuries inside her home, and they are actively searching for an attacker.
So, Will, when they were initially talking about it being a murder inquiry, one of the theories being put forward was that Anne Widdecombe had possibly disturbed an intruder in her house. Is that still a theory that the police are working on?
We haven't had a press conference with the police since they put this update out. If they do today, obviously that will be a question that we will be putting towards them.
I'm going to speak to Rachel Johnson, who was a contestant alongside Anne Widdecombe on Celebrity Big Brother in 2018, and who joins me now. Good afternoon, Rachel.
Oh, hi, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Rachel. I understand you have pulled off the road to speak to us this afternoon, so we're very, very grateful to have your thoughts and your memories of Anne Widdecombe. Did you know Anne at all before you both stepped into the Big Brother house, Rachel?
That's a good question. I can't remember whether I did or not. I think I had gone to see her when she was doing Strictly, when I was editor of The Lady, and she'd given me an interview, and I remember being very starstruck by her, because she became this kind of pop culture sensation, in her, middle age, and she became very charismatic and kind of a celebrity as well as a proper politician, which was what made her very special, but also I think what explains why people are so incredibly shocked by what has happened.
Yeah, she almost had a sort of second wind when released from the shackles of parliamentary politics, didn't she? What kind of housemate was she, Rachel?
Well, I would just say that I don't think she ever was released from the shackles of parliamentary politics, because she became a Brexit MEP. She then joined Reform. She was a Reform spokesperson right up until her death on Wednesday. So she combined being a celebrity with being a serious politician, which I think was her USP. As a housemate, she was exactly as she. I mean, you didn't see the kind of shiny floors and the spangly dresses. She was very down to earth. She was very undomesticated. I mean, I don't think she could even make a cup of tea. And I think Ian Dale explained to me yesterday when I did a couple of hours tribute show to her last night. Ian Dell explained that her mother lived with her for a long time, and she did all the cooking and all the shopping, and I don't think she could really boil an egg at all. I would be bringing her tea and biscuits in bed and making her lunch.
It sounds like she had you very well trained in the house, Rachel.
Oh yeah, I was like her puppy. Totally, I did anything she said. She it was a very interesting mix of people in the house. We had a transvestite and we had a trans woman and Anne Widdecombe, and we had some quite explosive conversations because, of course, she was a sort of anti-progressive. Her principles were guided by her faith, and she interpreted the Bible quite literally. She thought marriage was for a man and a woman, and homosexuality was a sin. But then, of course, most of her closest friends were gay, so she didn't. She was very unjudgmental. She didn't sort of take her beliefs into her personal life, but they remained her beliefs. So she was an interesting, paradoxical woman.
Yeah. Did you stay in touch with her much after you both left the Big Brother house?
Well, we did in the following year because we both fought the same European parliamentary elections. And then I would sort of see her in TV studios, and I was always terrified of being up against her in the debate because she would tend to wipe the floor with any opposition. She was so principled, and she knew what she thought, and she could detect kind of people's wishy-washy opinions, and she could flush them out with absolute skill and ease. And that was all honed in the Oxford Union, where I think she was secretary. So she's been practicing her debating skills from her student days.
Absolutely.
And woe betide anyone who took her on, is all I'd say.
Yes, well, wherever she is now, whether you believe in all of that, which she did, I'm sure she's wiping the floor with her debating opposition.
Oh, yeah, she will be.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Rachel.
No,
lovely to speak to you. Thank you. That was journalist Rachel Johnson.